Hi everyone, I'm GREYMOND. So today I wanted to talk about what you do have control over when fighting OCD. I know a lot of the times when you fight OCD, you feel very much powerless and um, that you don't have any choices, you don't have any control, you're just kind of overwhelmed by the feelings. And there is some choices um, you do have the ability to make, and there is some control that you have. So the first thing is what you do when the thought comes in. So when the thought comes in, it comes in with anxiety already. But the anxiety is at about a 6 or a 7 or an 8. It's not at a full 10 usually. I mean, if you are in a really bad situation, it could be at a 10. But even if it's at a 10, you will take it to 11 or 12 when you start to react with fear, and then you feel completely lost, depersonalized. You're kind of now in another universe, and as I call it, in OCD land, not understanding what's going on at all, right? So that's your choice there. You can choose to take the thought and run with it, right? Or you can choose to say, okay, this is the same thought I always get, and I don't need to do this anymore. I'm going to make a choice not to do this. If you at least attempt to make a choice, a lot of the times it won't work, right? As you probably know. But um, if you at least attempt to make a choice, the anxiety will not skyrocket as much as if you just give in completely. So that's one situation. Then also, after you make a choice to disregard and say it did work out, it didn't work out, most of the time it kind of works out a little bit, but obviously the anxiety is still there. So you made the choice to disregard, and what are you going to do now? You can choose to disregard while laying in bed or sitting on the couch watching TV and not giving your mind any stimulation whatsoever, very minimal, right? Which will make OCD worse because the thoughts are going to get stronger. I'm talking about here mostly pure O, but you can apply this to physical compulsions as well. If you leave yourself in a situation where you can do physical compulsions freely, it's going to be much harder to resist, right? Just same with the analyzing, right? It's hard to resist if you got nothing going on in the moment. So try to put yourself in the situation, again, making that choice to put yourself in a situation where you have to focus on things no matter what, such as call somebody. You have to talk on the phone, you have to obviously say something, and this will sidetrack your mind a little bit. Go outside, go do something, even though I get that you don't feel like it. And I remember when I was recovering, I also had an extremely hard time getting out of the house. It is extremely difficult, but again, it comes down to a choice. It's either you're going to stay in the house and much more likely get worse, or you're going to push yourself out and push yourself to do things which will sidetrack you a little bit, and you will not do the damage that you would have done if you were at home, you know? So it's those kinds of things that you do have control over. You do have a choice. And ultimately, how you react to the OCD thoughts, what you do when you get an OCD thought, not when OCD thought comes in, what you do when you get an OCD thought, that creates your reality, that creates the future of your recovery, you know? The OCD thoughts are only there. Again, go if you're new to this channel, please go back to the video where I explain how OCD works, because you really need to understand that the thoughts are only here because you're powering them up. If you were powering a fear about a red balloon, then the brain would send you a red balloon with just as much urgency and anxiety, you know? If you were truly powering that thought up, right? It's taking whatever you're saying. So if you're saying this is scary, and just repeating it back to you, but the fear now comes in on autopilot, you know? It doesn't even know what it's saying. It's just literally just repeating what you said and mimicking the fear that you reacted with back at you, kind of mirroring, right? So looking at it that way, that I have the choice of how I react when I feel this automatic fear. I have the choice of what I do in the day, you know. And what I found helpful in terms of the day, if you have a list and you stick to the list of things that you're going to do. So I'm going to do this, 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 and this, no matter what. No matter how bad I feel, if I have to cry through the entire thing, I'm still going to do it. You know, and that's how you kind of go through the day. And I know it sounds very sad, very painful, but you know what the alternative would be. It would be not to leave the bed at all and just be upset and, make it way worse, right? And I'm not saying that this will get rid of an OCD thought. If you're in the middle of an OCD attack, it won't get rid of the thought, but it will make the recovery from the attack much easier. Because you're showing your brain that this is not all that valid, because I'm going to put my life first. I'm going to put what I want to do first. And that means that the thought starts to lose power, and you will see the thoughts now start to shift. And again, go back to my other video and you could see why the thoughts are shifting. To put it just quickly here, is because if you're not buying into one thought, the brain tries to replace it with another thought, but you're not buying into that one either. So now the thoughts start to shift very, very quickly, but the anxiety goes down because none of them are really grabbing on for long enough to really raise the anxiety very high. So they're kind of just spiraling, basically. So if you actually feel that, that's good. That means the brain is uncomfortable. You want it to be uncomfortable, because your brain's comfortable state is if you're in full anxiety. Then you won't feel any shifts. The thought will be just the same one thought because you're reacting with a lot of fear to it. But it's when you refuse to get into the anxious thinking, into the reassurance, right? That's when the brain starts to shift from topic to topic. I hope you find my videos helpful. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please subscribe. I talk daily about all things OCD. If you would like to do the recovery program, all the information is on youhaveocd.com, and you can sign up from there. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.